And welcome to the LV Home Experts Radio Show, where we talk about real estate and financing every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys are just tuning in to this channel for the first time, I'm Chakits Kruksawat with Simply Vegas, your Las Vegas realtor, the host of the LV Home Experts Radio Show. And I got my man, the guru of all gurus when it comes to financing, the host of, or actually the co-host. Wrong one. What's going on, buddy?
Man, I started pumping my chest over here. You said host. I'm like, wait a second. I'm a host?
There you go.
I'm part of the show.
You are part of the show. Now, we have a very interesting topic, and I think this is very important for everybody that's out there looking to purchase a brand new home. We're going to be talking about smart home technology and why is it so important now that if you are planning on building a home, why you should have this in, because according to statistics, it says that 83 million households now have some sort of smart home technology device. Look, guys, you don't want to have a dumb home. You want to have a smart home. So today we got a very special guest, two special guests, right? We have Chris and Amanda with Acoustics Design Systems. How's everything going, guys?
Hey, Chakits. Real well. Thanks for having us.
Oh, look at this. I'm messing up now. Don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. So I want to get right into this because we got about 45 minutes, right? So let's talk about this industry and what is going on, because, you know, I do a lot of new home builds right now, and I noticed that a lot of these builders are starting to integrate new home technology. However, it seems that they don't really push it that much, because when you go to the design studio, they pretty much push the flooring, the cabinets, they push everything else, but not really low voltage, right? So first of all, can you talk about the industry just a little bit?
Sure. To speak to that point specifically, I think that the designers in the design center are there to help you pick out tile and carpet and window coverings and all the pretty fun things and everything. And that's what they're experts on. But the technology industry is such a vast, confusing thing if you really don't know what you're doing. So they typically team up and partner with an organization like ours or another low voltage integrator to be the experts and their face towards the technology side of their business.
Okay. So let's talk about the industry, because we know, like I just mentioned, that 83 households now will have some sort of device. No matter if you have like that Echo system, or what are those other apps that they have out there, or those little speaker systems that they have like with the Amazon, right? They have all that kind of stuff now.
Yeah, I think they do, don't they? I think, is it, what is the stuff that you guys typically start to work on with stuff like speakers, and like, is that different types? Is it like you can say, hey, I can get Bose, or I can get this, or I can get that? I mean, is it kind of up to the client? Like, how does that work?
We specialize in just being the customer's advocate and expert for all of their decisions. We're asking them to create an experience or to tell us the experience that they're looking for. And they're not coming to us because they say they want Bose or Amazon Alexa or Google.
Okay.
They're coming to us because they have a dream and a desire of what they want. They don't know what it's going to take to do those things. And they look for us to be the expert to help us pick out the right products to fit inside their budget to give them the ultimate goal for them.
So let's go back to the beginning. Let's talk about smart home technology. What is smart home technology first?
Connected devices in your home that are capable of talking to each other and giving you access to different features that your home might have.
Let's get a couple examples.
Sure. The most popular right now, I think that everybody hears of and is using, which are probably the most popular, would be smart thermostats, because you can work on energy consumption and being able to adjust your thermostats when you're away from the home. Lighting control, which are easy to swap out either your bulbs in your home. Philips Hue makes a system where you just swap out your bulbs and you have an app. You can then change the colors of the lights, brightness, temperature, those different things. And then smart door locks. So you're able to give somebody access to your home when you're not there. And you're able to then tie a lot of these products together to have scenes play in this regard.
Yeah.
Let's say you get home, you type a code into your door, it unlocks the door for you, it drops the temperature on the thermostat, and it turns on your favorite lighting scene, letting you know that you're home.
See, that's some next level, because we actually did a video on one of your properties, and I do have it in the link of the description, so I would highly encourage you guys to go back and actually watch this video. I remember walking into the property, you have the keypad, you have your own keypad, or you could just use it by your app, right? Correct. Or you can let somebody in. And what's great about this is that they can literally set this up for a guest to come in. You have the lighting, turns on and off. You have the shades, right? You can literally have the music, right? Based upon your gender, right?
Right.
I mean, it is unbelievable what they did to this house.
You can set the mood, right? That's
exactly.
what it is.
And you can set the
personalize
mood for every different type of way for whomever might be there or whatever you might be feeling. So you yourself might have several different codes on the door. So if you're feeling like some hip hop one day with the lights all on full, or maybe you feel like listening to something a little slower, you've had a rough day, you're going to pour yourself a drink, you got a code for that, and it turns on that playlist.
What if you just can, is it like where you can talk and just like verbally say it, like, hey, whatever it is, like, hey, I want to listen to this, and it'll do it? Or is it you got to have like a remote to do that?
Oh no, there's a lot of the voice technology available to now. Everyone's heard of Amazon Alexa and the Google Home Assistant, and then
I think that's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah, the Google Home Assistants. Yeah, matter of fact, we did a video on that too, and that was pretty impressive. You basically talk to it and you say, turn on the music or turn on the lights. I mean, it literally just does it. But
That's
then
sick.
The question I have is that for all the people that are out there, right, they're worried about Big Brother. So how does that work? Like, how do you combat that situation? Or when somebody says, you know what, I'm not too sure if I want all this because they're monitoring us.
I mean, know the product you're buying. And I mean, I don't know that you need to be all that concerned about the thing in your house that's listening to you, because I think we all walk around with something in our pocket that listens to us all day anyway. So I don't know.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, good point.
Here's the thing too, is like, if you can connect to the internet, pretty much anybody can connect to anything. Yeah. Almost, right?
Correct.
I mean, if you wanted to get into something, you can really get into something. It doesn't matter if it's that or this phone or anything.
Right.
Sure. So I think a biggest thing about that, if you think about computer technology, which has been around forever, and you're always worrying about your Windows updating and updating the security settings on your computer. Microsoft, for instance, with Windows, puts those updates out regularly to make sure there's security patches to make sure that their technology is safe and hackers can't get into them and ultimately get into your other information. So the same is true with smart devices and IoT devices, products you buy. They have a shelf life on them, just like Windows Update 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. And a lot of the manufacturers support the product until they no longer support the product. So you really need to do your homework and make sure you're picking a product that is going to be supported. And when the manufacturer says, oh, we have a new model and the end of life for our support on that product is this day, that's probably the day you shouldn't use it anymore, because they're no longer going to create patches for the security breaches in that product.
Okay, let's talk about IoT. What does that stand for?
Internet of Things. Anything, any connected device.
Got it. So what other devices are out there that you can actually integrate with your home? So we talked about some shades, right? We talked about music. We talked about lighting. What else?
Televisions.
Oh, TV.
Oh, absolutely. Home entertainment is a huge thing in our industry. And I think the resurgence of home theaters have come back quite a bit, right? So some people want media rooms because they're a big sports lover. So we do several TVs in the media room, or they want amazing sound and they want their room to feel like a home theater. So we can install, you know, an amazing surround sound system to go for that home entertainment and get that experience that you want. So it also goes along with the lighting Chris talked about and creating different things so that you kind of have the whole home entertainment experience.
Okay. And also you guys do like camera security system too as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then it's farther past that. I mean, you look at ovens are connected now, refrigerators, washers, and dryers. So you can literally away from the home go on and preheat your oven for yourself. You can get a text message on your phone when your laundry is done in the dryer. I mean, every device in the home is becoming a connected device because people want access and the ease of use of not having to get up and see if the dryer is done yet.
And
You
let me
ever
give you
seen
an
that thing,
example.
George Jetson?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, you know what? I want to wake up and my breakfast is ready. My coffee's hot.
Exactly.
I'm getting out of bed and somebody's taking like all my clothes off, and then I just kind of get on a, like, you never seen Austin Powers, how he gets on that like
Conveyor belt or
conveyor
something?
belt, and he just goes down the process and he just like hit me everywhere, and then it's like, boom, you're ready. You know, you're ready to eat. You know,
right in
so
your car.
Possibilities are endless.
it's
I know.
endless, man.
So Amanda, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just going to give an example. One of my favorite things about the
Yeah.
system I have in my home, I have a full smart home technology system, of course, and I love that I can turn on my hot tub whenever I want. So I'll be out
Nice.
at dinner and I'll be like, oh, it's, you know, kind of nice out. I want to get in the hot tub when I get home, and I'll sit at dinner and turn on my hot tub from an app on my phone. And by the time I get home, I can pour my glass of wine and hot tub is hot. I don't have to wait 2 hours for my hot tub to heat. So
The other thing I wanted to mention too that you can also do is your backyard with the lighting too as well, which is really cool. The speakers, right? Even the lighting with the pools, you guys can integrate that too as well, right? I
Yeah.
believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There's a
all
lot
the
of
pool
different.
controls.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no pool controls. I was just going to give that same example.
Pool controls, there's a lot of landscape lighting. Lighting has become a really big conversation in the low voltage and integration world because for so long it's just been kind of a dumb device that's installed by an electrician. Not calling electricians dumb, it's just a dumb device. It's a light switch on the wall, it turns on and off. But now even backyard landscape systems have connectability to them to be able to change the colors of the lights in the backyard, light up trees differently, so forth and so on.
Yeah, it does play a big part. Like I always stress this with my clients, like having lights, like especially in the homes, you should have that. And a lot of people, when they cut costs, that's where they cut costs is the electricity, right? Or high voltage and even low voltage. But again, that's where they put all their money is into like the kitchen and the flooring. But everything else, you know, they kind of run out of budget, and that's like the first thing that they cut.
And the TV and the lights and the sound are the things they're going to use every single day of their life. And it's going to be the thing that brings them joy and happiness with their family on the weekends, watching sports with friends. It is probably the most used thing in the home.
I agree.
Now, I also want my audience to know the credibility of you guys, because it seems like every luxury home build I go to and I open up the closet, all I see is a rack with your name on it. So I guess that's a good thing.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't have perfect 5 stars on Google for nothing.
Yeah. And you guys got a pretty large facility, right? Like a 10,000 square foot facility or something like that?
Yeah, we have 60 some employees, 30 some trucks.
Wow.
We have 30 plus technicians out in the field every single day servicing about 1,000 projects a year.
Oh, wow. So let's talk about these systems that you add into your home, right? Obviously, the software is going to get outdated. So, like, do you guys also, like, manage all this stuff, too, as well, and service the equipment?
Absolutely. We do. We have a service agreements with most of our customers where we provide biannually firmware updates on all of their equipment. So all of these security patches, firmware updates, making sure all the equipment runs properly. We do that twice a year for our customers. We go in and clean the rack of equipment, dust everything off, make sure everything's running at peak performance, because when you're buying products like this, it isn't a one and done and you're just going to be fine forever. We really are a partner with that homeowner for a long time.
Yeah.
And it gives us the ability with this service also to offer 24/7 support for our customers, because we work 7 to 3, but our customers are also working 7 to 3, and they're using the systems at nighttime, on the weekends. We want them, if they have any kind of hiccup whatsoever, because these things talk together and there's some communication error from time to time, we want them to have the ability to be able to call somebody and get the support they need.
Now, what about the security alarm system and all that? Do you guys monitor that too, or do you guys use a third-party company, or how does that work?
We monitor alarms through a third-party monitoring company, most of the things we set up for our customers, most of the monitoring agreements are all a lot of self-monitoring as well. The days of someone breaking into your home and just waiting for a phone call that someone broke into your home are kind of over. The second those systems see an intruder or some sort of a fault on the alarm system, it's immediately sending you text messages. So you can see a text message on your phone, immediately go look at your cameras, see that someone's in your home. In the state of Nevada, it requires visual verification to be able to call 911 and send the police to your home. So those cameras, if you get an alert saying your front door alarm was tripped, you go on your cameras and see someone there. That is visual verification to call 911 and roll a 211 in progress. I think that's what it
211. See, I don't even know what that is.
Squad 51, Squad 51. You got 211 in progress.
Blue leader, red dog, blue leader.
Now, I noticed a lot of these systems, they have their own like personal like app and stuff. Is there like one app or one system or software that you can just integrate them all together? Because that's what I hate. It's like you have so many options, then you get all these equipments for, for your home, but now you got like 10 different apps you got to operate. Is there like one system?
So yes and yes.
Yeah.
So a couple different ways to think about that. Yes, there's definitely going to be a hub as the main part of the system. So it doesn't, if you're using, let's say, Amazon Alexa and then some lighting control and thermostats and some music, Amazon Alexa is the hub for that system that all those devices are talking to be able to control different things. More robust systems, when you want to get audio and video involved in it, if you're talking about a Control4 or Savant or Crestron, those would be the hub for all those devices to talk to. The other side of that, there are standalone devices and products where you could have multiple apps on your phone. And if you really think about the way you use your phone, if you want to use your email, you go to your email app. If you want to use your internet, you go to your internet app. True. But to streamline everything, if you really want a smart home experience, you really need to tie all those devices together so that when you unlock your door, it plays your music and turn your lights on for you. That requires a hub. And it depends on the scope and what the customer is really looking to do with the project to know which is the best hub for that project.
You know, that Control4 system, I thought it was kind of hard to navigate, but it's actually pretty easy. Like, basically, you go to iPad, whatever you have, and it shows you if you want to go to your living room, you go to your living room. If you want to turn the lights, turn the music. It's pretty simple. It's not hard at all. So, this generation that's coming up, well, I guess the baby boomers, how do you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Because you have over 19,000 baby boomers retiring. They didn't grow up with cell phones and apps. Like, do you see a lot of that time period getting this system? Or is it more of the newer generation?
I think absolutely. I think the baby boomer generation is a great cross-section of people to look at because it is the, I would say, oldest generation of Americans that live with technology on a daily basis. Baby boomers' parents really aren't living with the technology. They're probably still have the 12 o'clock flashing on their VCR.
Right.
But the baby boomers are the ones who have adopted Facebook and smartphones and all these other technologies. So now they're getting to retirement age. They want to live in their last home with technology and have a cool TV and surround sound and smart devices and a good security system. So I think that is the oldest and first generation that's really, truly, this is the thing I want for my home.
Okay.
Honestly, I think they're our ideal audience, to be honest with you.
Really?
And
So
I
they're
hate
not
to
having
say,
any issues?
No. I mean, obviously, no one can say that. But I think that the key to a control system is it puts all of those things in one place, right? So it's really simple to hit this one app and go to any room in your home and just say, I want to watch TV. Versus, someone, a baby boomer generation that has 20 remote controls sitting on their coffee table, and they don't know which remote control goes to the to the DVD player or this thing or that thing.
Hey,
and they're not sure
Barb,
what
how
to
do I turn on the VCR?
Do you guys remember the
this makes it so
universal
simple.
control? Like everything was geared
of
towards that
course.
one control?
Of course.
Yeah.
We do it every day.
Do you?
day,
So I mean,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So like that's on a big scale. Is that thing really hard to deal with? Like as far as because it's dealing with a lot of stuff, right? So it's probably a pretty decent sized remote. Like
take a look at that. I mean, it's all right there. All the apps on the system, dude.
Oh wow, look at
Dude,
that.
isn't that
really
cool?
simple.
I mean, take a look at that.
And there's different options. You can have a full touch screen. There's a hybrid where it's a touch screen on half the remote and then tactile buttons on the bottom half of the remote. And then there's a full button remote as well, where you can just go and if you like the old school tactile feel and just pick up the remote and know where the buttons are, it works perfectly.
I mean, you guys actually do fire systems and monitoring too as well.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow, let's talk about this a little bit. This is a little bit fascinating.
That's not really the residential world, though. That's
okay.
more,
This is more for commercial.
Commercial, yeah.
Oh, okay.
very commercial.
Oh
heavy.
wow. I mean, look at this. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But I want to go through some of this gallery stuff. Okay.
So there's our vans, and that's kind of what our fleet looks like. So you can expect a professional to show up at your home in a nice vehicle with all the tools to do whatever it is that you need done at your home.
Man, that's nice when you can say that's my fleet.
Yeah.
Who says that's my fleet? You know what I mean? That's right there. Look at this guy.
It's come a long way.
That was a pretty proud day to take that picture because I moved to Las Vegas in 1998 with very little and started the business with nothing out of my garage.
Good for you, man.
Wow.
Self-made man.
So to be in business since 2003 as Acoustic Design, so we just celebrated our 18th anniversary this year, and to be able to take that picture with 30 plus vehicles in front of my building and everything.
That's a big deal.
That's a pretty proud day.
So let's talk about a customer service standpoint, all right? So once the system is already in, how do you walk the consumer through that process as far as like the apps and all that stuff like that?
So we have lead technicians and programmers that we schedule training directly with all of the residents of the home to sit there and go through every single button on the remote for them to understand how to use all the features of the new system. Do they remember it? No, not never, ever, ever. So the really big thing that we do is we say when we're finishing up a project, we ask them, what are you most excited to use tonight?
Yeah.
Let's make you an expert at that thing, and then we'll show you everything else, and then we'll have follow-up calls with you after this to make sure you understand how all of this works.
I guess that would make sense. But if you just keep playing around with it, you'll end up figuring it out.
100% correct. A lot of the systems we do are very intuitive, that once you understand how one thing works, everything else works that exact same way.
And what's good about this is you can literally program it any way you choose to once you figure out the system. Once you thumb your way through it, it's just basically you can literally hit one button and everything that you wanted that was set up for that one button will turn on, which is, I think, is kind of cool. Even just like, I think you can set it up for like 6 o'clock in the morning. You have a certain type of music, blinds goes up. Next thing you know it, you have this nice soft voice.
Sade starts to play.
Yeah, exactly. Chakits, it's time to get up. It's time to go to work. You know what I mean?
Smooth operator.
Now I want to talk about design studio. Okay, so how do you walk your clients through the options when it comes to picking options?
When you're building a new home, you're speaking to, correct? So, like you said, a lot of people are spending a lot of budget on their flooring and their cabinets, and when they get to electrical and low voltage, they don't have a lot of their budget remaining. They bought the things they thought they wanted.
Yeah.
And they're not considering technology as one of those things that they thought they wanted. However, if you really think about it, if you're buying a home without technology in it, you're buying an old home that no one's lived in yet.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing. A home from the 50s has a floor and cabinets and a roof and everything else. Technology is what makes a home really, really new.
Yeah.
So we really guide them down the process of what they see as a vision for their home. How are they going to use their home? What do they do for entertainment in their home? Do they have guests? Do they have friends? And then start to develop an infrastructure that the home might require to do something like that. You hear a lot of times people say, oh, I'm just going to do everything wirelessly, which sounds fantastic. Everything's got Wi-Fi built in. But as soon as you start running everything wirelessly, especially, let's say, streaming video, that's eating up a ton of wireless bandwidth, where if you're hardwiring those devices, you're freeing up the wireless bandwidth. So when you're using a device that is truly wireless, like an iPad or a smartphone, or whatever it might be, you have the full bandwidth available. So now if your kids are streaming video games and movies and listening to music and everything else, you can still be working and doing your job because you have access to enough bandwidth on your network for email and your own Zoom calls and everything else that happens these days.
And the problem with that is that you end up paying more in like fees and service fees because you got 3 different or 10 different companies that you have a service with, and now you have like 10 different apps, and now you got to pay for everything. It just doesn't make any sense. Versus if you just go to one source. Now let's just say we integrate everything all together. It goes to a closet, right? So that's kind of like the motherboard of everything, correct?
Sure, yeah.
So kind of explain that rack and what all that stuff is basically.
It's pretty much the heart of the home if you're looking at a technology system. So even like I was talking about with regular Amazon Alexa type products, IoT type products, you have the hub that's talking to the light switches and the thermostat and everything else. When you add audio video into that, we typically do everything in an equipment rack. So if you're adding surround sound and cable television, direct TV, a Blu-ray player, if anybody out there remembers what those are,
Blu-ray.
They came in and came out pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah.
VHS.
Yeah. That rack is that hub for
Yeah.
everything else in the house. So the hub that's talking to those other connected devices is also talking to, let's say, a surround sound receiver
Yeah.
and a cable box and a Blu-ray player, an Apple TV, or any other streaming devices that you might have for the video content. That way you can have a really nice, elegant, beautiful family room with just a nice flat screen TV hanging on the wall and a remote in your hand,
Yeah.
without having to find a place for a cabinet or a place for all of these other devices that are going to connect to the television.
Now, if I did something like this and did all this upgrade, Amanda, what type of internet do I actually need? Obviously, you can't have like dial-up, right? I mean, you have to have something quick, right?
Well, pretty much everything's going to fiber, right? Like that's
Yeah.
everybody wants that and the best high-speed internet, but it's really more about making sure, depending on what you have in your home,
Yeah.
that you have enough bandwidth to support everything in your home, right?
Is
So-
there like a minimum requirement that you guys will have based upon the systems that consumer had ordered?
I don't know.
It's all dependent on what the customer's needs are.
Yeah.
We'll guide them towards the right service plan with the service providers,
Yeah.
but we can't say everybody needs this plan.
Yeah.
Everyone uses their home a little bit differently. And the reason people call us is not because I'm going to get this thing. It's typically, I want this experience. How can you help me get to this experience?
Okay.
Well, and I think having good network infrastructure is important, and that's something that we can upgrade after the internet is already in. So we're not the cable provider, of course,
Yeah.
but we can help provide the infrastructure to support all of the things that they have in their home, and that to us is the key.
Okay. So you need to have good bandwidth if you have something like that, especially if you got a lot of things in your home that is running.
You just have to have the right products, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to, if you're going to build a more robust wireless network, or if you were going to use more wireless products, you need to have a really robust wireless network. If you're going to build a really good hardwired network, and then so you have enough wireless bandwidth available for your wireless devices, you want to build the right infrastructure for those hardwired products as well. The internet is just tying to that, and then past that, the infrastructure, the intranet that's inside of the home, that's what's really important to get right and plan out well in advance so that when you go in your backyard, you still are on your Wi-Fi for your home.
Okay.
Right.
Now, another thing that I want to talk about is the camera system. I run across this all the time, and consumers are not aware of this. When we're at the design studio talking to the technician, he asks, do you want a security system? Yes, we want a security system. Well, hold on. It really depends on the type of system that you're going to run. And here's why. This is what I found out. If you went with ADT, right, it's going to be wireless, but you have to have power. So sometimes the consumer will just run that Cat 6, but not knowing that they need power. So a lot of consumers are not aware are you going to take the video into a hard drive or is it going to be online, right? So can you kind of walk us through that process as like what is better? And obviously it depends on the service company, right? Depending on what that consumer wants to use, because sometimes they just want to go to the hard drive.
And there's a big difference with that is a lot of the online cloud-based recording services for network-based cameras, there's going to be a monthly cost associated with that. So you can buy a Wi-Fi camera or a network camera, hook it up to your network, and then you're paying a fee to one of the big providers out there that offer these devices. If you do a hardwired network where you have your own NVR network video recorder in your home that's recording all the cameras locally for yourself, then there is no monthly fee for anything like that. You already own all the equipment. You're keeping track of your own storage. You have it all in your home for you.
Do you see high-end clients end up doing the DVR, or do they just use a third party and store it in the cloud?
For high-end, I would say, I mean, it's never going to be 100%. So 99.999% are all doing a NVR-based in-home system because it's a little more high-end of a system and a little more connectivity and functionality than you get out of some of the IoT network cameras that are available out there.
And hardwired is always better than wireless, typically.
Yeah.
Always.
I've noticed that because my stuff cuts out sometimes. I'm like, what the hell?
And the second you start streaming video, you're eating a ton of wireless bandwidth. So if you start putting 3, 4, 5, 6 Wi-Fi based cameras around your home, you're eating up a ton of wireless bandwidth.
People ask us all the time, well, I can just do that later. I'll do it wirelessly. I'll just do everything wireless. What about a wireless system? Hardwired is always better no matter what system it is typically.
Okay.
In fact, on our website that you were showing a little bit ago, we have a blog on there that's called Hardwired versus Wireless and why you choose one or the other. So it'll just educate you a little bit on why, but hardwired is always better.
Where's that at?
Look at that nice house.
It's under the news.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's in the news section. There's a bunch of blogs. I don't remember exactly what month we did it, but if you look on the right-hand side, if you scroll down, no, you're on the right page.
It's kind of a weird question. I got a question.
No, you're on the right page. Go back.
Do you have a lot of people, like the new homes, it's almost like, you know what, I'm going to do it because it's a new home, and it's almost like a customary thing.
Sure.
What about people with older homes? Like if you did it, would it bring value? Like similar, like if you had a pool or you didn't have a pool, let's say you wanted to put one in, would it actually bring value to the home?
Well, that is a big discussion. I mean, you were just reading an article today. Go ahead, go for it.
No.
No.
I don't know where you were going with this conversation, so you go for it.
Just talking about coming up in the very, very near future. I don't remember the exact numbers on it and everything, but homes with technology will command a higher dollar for the exact same home than a home without technology.
Think about a car, right? A car with technology in it, really good technology in it, is going to be worth more than a car without technology in it, right? So it increases the value of your home, and it will be more desired by buyers because it has technology in it. It's ready to have cameras to protect your family, or it's, got all the Cat 6 cables you need, or it's just ready to go. It's more popular than
I didn't know
upgrade.
that. I was curious about it because you got an older home. Let's say it's 2000. That's why I'm like, well,
sure.
Yeah.
Will it cost you more money to do it after versus before?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest thing is finding. Most builders have some sort of a technology partner or the option to put an infrastructure into the home. You really need to talk with someone and put more than you think you'll need in the home as far as infrastructure is concerned, because it's always less expensive to do it up front than it is to go in and cut the walls open and do it after the fact.
Yeah.
Those 20-year homes, we do a lot of retrofit work as well. We don't only do new construction. So an older home is what we call retrofit, where we're cutting the walls open and running wires through the home. We're seeing a lot of that right now. People have some value in their home. It's time to update their home, but they love the location. They like the home in itself. So they want to do a remodel. And we're always included in that conversation of remodel, because part of making that old home new again is to put technology into it.
Jackie asks, can the smart home system device be hacked?
Everything can be hacked. I mean, didn't just like the electric system somewhere just get hacked?
Is there a firewall or something to prevent that though? Like, is there something that comes with it?
So there is that is exactly what I'm talking about. The security patches for all the different devices. Yes, they have firewalls in them. Yes, when we set up a network, we set it up to be as safe and protected for the customer's information as possible. But you need to think about the other side of that as well. You have these IoT devices that are registering a lot of your company or a lot of your customer information or your personal information. So, I mean, if you just want to bring up Ring or Google or any of these other products that are out there, Nest, all these IoT type products, if that as a company gets hacked, your personal information is with that company, the same way that if Equifax gets hacked, your personal information from credit bureaus and all of those things are getting hacked into by a hacker from the outside world in that regard as well.
Now, what can a buyer do, right, as far as upgrades or, order some sort of system to put some value in the home? Is there any suggestions?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
What can a new home buyer add to their home to increase like some value to their home?
The most popular things that we see all the time, so if they're the most popular, I believe that's the thing that everyone's going to be looking for, is a security system,
a
camera system, and an audio system. Yeah. Everyone wants to listen to music in their backyard. I mean, it's going to be October next week in Las Vegas. It's the best weather you can get in the world, I imagine. Yeah. Everyone's going to be in their backyard, and you want to listen to music, maybe watch TV outside. You want to feel safe when you're at home. So being able to have a security system that if someone enters the home or if a camera gets tripped, maybe some security lights go off and you're able to look around your house and have some peace of mind that you're safe. Those are hands down the most popular options.
And where do you see this industry going in the next, 5, 10, 20 years?
And more.
Yeah.
Every single home, huh?
Yeah, more connected devices and more products talking together to help you out and try to make daily life easier. And it's going to be a matter of standing on your treadmill and walking down the line and having your clothes put on and giving you a cup of coffee.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Man. I need it. Put me in my car. And then I'm just going to sit there and drive me to work. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Put them on
I'm not even going to drive.
Features as soon as it's available. Number one, first customer.
Done.
So let me ask you this: how long have you guys been in business exactly?
I started the company in 2003.
2003, and you said you started from your garage.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Yes, I drove a Ford Lightning pickup truck, so I had the fastest work truck in town.
Wow.
That's like Apple. Remember the guy that started
Yeah.
Apple? They started out of the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, same stuff, man.
Thanks for comparing me to Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You got a fleet. If you got a fleet, you compared to Apple.
Yeah, right?
So what made you get into this industry?
I just like technology. It started when I was 17 years old. I wanted a car stereo in my
Okay.
car because, I mean, who doesn't like the cars that go boom, right?
Yep.
Little Tigger and Bunny reference.
Talking about cars, obviously, you do have the app for your garage as well, where it just opens,
Yeah.
right, and all that stuff. You can literally
Absolutely.
open it from your phone. So I do want to mention that.
course.
Is there anything else that I'm missing here? Because I think we're covering everything,
Well,
right?
also your car is connected at this point. Every electric car, which are becoming more and more prevalent these days, especially, I mean, look at Chevy's committed to have every single car they make by 2035 an electric vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of those vehicles is going to be a connected device.
That is amazing. But it could be scary at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, Big Brother's watching you. Pretty soon, you know what? You don't pay your bills, we're turning everything off.
Big Brother's already in your pocket, man.
We just did an article, actually, the most recent blog that you keep pulling up, that cool
Yeah.
Porsche garage. So we did a voice control system in that garage. There
Yep.
is Josh AI, and it's why every home will have voice control in the next 10 years. So, I mean, when you talk about, where is this industry going and what is it going to look like in the next 10 years? And there it is.
I'm curious if new homes are going to make it more of a mandate, even at the mid-level size home. You know, like if we talk about our median price point, it's like 500,000. What if they're really going to start to make it where? Because I'm sure that the high end, it's almost customary because they go in and they can.
Well,
just
they're
pick with them.
required to
Yeah.
at that
Right.
point. It's like if you don't have it and you
Right.
have a home that's over $1 million, it's not even worth it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's just like one of those things that you just need to have. But I'm starting to see that the medium price home around the 405 range, they'll have the Ring doorbell that's included.
There you
Then
go.
you'll have like the Wi-Fi systems like throughout, so it gives you better Wi-Fi. They'll give you a couple little switches here and there. And the appliances that already come with it, it's already connected to your Bluetooth. I mean, it's just crazy. You know, what you get with it.
Who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, you said 15 years. This could
Yeah.
just be.
It's everything.
It's
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
And as more home builders are including this in their new homes as they're building, they're including options for low voltage. You're going to see older and older homes that have technology in them.
And I think we're in a really hot housing market. So
Yeah.
all of our home builders in our valley are, fighting to keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
I think as that starts to slow down, because there's going to be such a demand from consumers that want a smart home and technology built into their home, I think when it's, let's call it less hard for a home builder less easy for a home builder to sell a home, they're going to have to really start looking at what things do we put in these homes to make sure someone wants to buy our home versus the home next door.
That's
Yeah,
a good
that's a great
point.
point.
Yeah, they should just raise the cost and just already include those stuff. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's curious because what if you're a person trying to sell your house and it's like it starts to become normal? It's like, hey, you know what? I'll buy your house, but you don't have the smart technology. You need to put that in. Maybe I'll buy your house, or maybe you'll start to negotiate that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just like, like I think it was probably like 8 months ago, I had an iPhone 6 and people were complaining like, you still have an iPhone 6?
I was the same guy.
I was like, yeah, it
was a 6S
still
though.
works.
It was a 6S.
The owner of the
You know why?
technology.
Because you know what it is? It's like there's not much technology really, in my opinion, that's changed from like 6 to 12.
No, camera keeps getting better and
Yeah.
That's it.
faster.
That's it. I mean, but you can go buy a camera, but I'm just saying it's not revolutionary. I'm sure if it was like, man, this is like taking me to another level.
Sure.
So what do you say to a consumer that has that, giving you that rebuttal? Why would I buy your equipment or this technology or this system when in 2 years it's going to be outdated or something going to be better?
Why did you buy that car within 2 years it's going to be outdated or something better?
Well, that's a good point. Is that the objection?
I'm just asking. I mean,
Yeah.
technology moves very quickly, and people buy cars because they want more technology in them. I can guarantee that everybody out there and everyone in this room has gotten a new car either recently or in the past and said, "Oh, come here, look what my car does. Look at this screen it has, or look how it does navigation." I mean, people are excited about technology.
Well, I'll tell you the car that I have no clue on like 95% of that stuff, how it works.
He gets in it and he's like, I'm looking cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what that does.
Yeah.
I don't know what that does, but I look cool.
Exactly. But I guess the
Just show
good
me the throttle pedal. That's the only feature I want.
So I guess the good news is as long as you like pre-wire everything, you can always change the device, right?
The infrastructure is all that matters. As long as you're doing at a bare minimum Cat 5, Cat 5e, and then what you really should be doing is Cat 6 right now. Cat 6 is a standard that's out there available, and then further past that is we're running a lot of fiber optical cable in homes as well. Faster cables.
Yeah.
So 5, 5e, 6. Fiber, it's the speed transmission rate of each of those different cables. Fiber is the fastest, and that's the direction the future is going. So we're starting to include fiber in a lot of the pre-wire in our homes.
So can you actually get audio from that too as well, from the Cat 6, or just video?
There are a lot of devices that use that Cat 6 in multiple ways. Extenders is a big way. So if you're talking about, let's say you want to put a cable box in a closet and have a TV on the wall, you can have HDMI coming out of your cable box going into a small device called an extender or a balun. Cat 6, a category cable coming out of that, going to the TV, to the receiver of that product, and then it breaks it back out to HDMI to go into the television. Oh, that's
pretty dope. Okay.
Yeah, those are very, very popular, and it gives you the ability to have use any type of infrastructure for a home and get kind of different results out of it.
Okay. So for the consumer, what is the cheapest way or the most affordable way to get everything into your home? As far as, instead of going to a builder, because if you go to the builder, it costs us more money, right? Wouldn't it be cheaper to pre-wire it through the builder, then do everything yourself?
A lot of the builders anymore are only offering pre-wire because they don't want to warranty electronics after the sale. So a lot of the builders have gotten away from I'm going to also buy a TV and put it in my loan. I'm also going to buy, because those are kind of things that the loan companies look at. I mean, you're a lender, you look at a deal like that and it's got 10 TVs and this big rack of electronics. If they move, they're going to take all this stuff with them and they're out the money. So typically a lot of those, the infrastructure can all be included in house because it's built in and part of the home, but those other additional things are typically purchased once the home is closed escrow.
And yes, it's less expensive to pre-wire and build the infrastructure through the builder during construction than to wait until the home is built and the walls are up to try to go back and retrofit wires through the home.
Custom builders will do that, right?
Which part?
The pre-wire?
Yes,
get it
a
all
lot of builders do.
Yeah.
A lot of builders offer pre-wire now.
Okay. But they do try to sell you their product. What happens if you don't like their product? Can I actually just pre-wire with them and just contact you and say, hey, I want you guys to install the equipment?
100% yes. I think, even if you're going to deal with us, you should vet any company you're dealing with, because we really truly are going to be a partner for a long time. And if you don't like us or the other company you're dealing with, you're not going to have a good experience. So you should really do your homework and find the integration company that's best suited for what your needs are.
We get people who walk into our office weekly who are building a new home with a builder who doesn't offer pre-wire, or they do offer pre-wire, but they, maybe the salesperson doesn't know a lot about what type of infrastructure they need to use. So they come to us and they say, hey, I definitely want to pre-wire my home, but I just need advice on what to pre-wire for. And then I'd like to use you guys after the home is built to come in and, hang my TVs and install my surround sound and get my security cameras running. But we help them with the process. So all the time we, help new home buyers with advice on how to properly build the infrastructure in your home, and then how we can come in after and help actually install the smart home device.
And we should probably bill for that, but we're happy to help so many
but
people.
No, but we really want to educate consumers, because there's so many people in our industry. There's a lot of smaller companies out there, right? Yeah. That, they drive around and they just got a truck and a ladder on the top, and, they come out and they can hang TVs and such. But to go with a true professional, like you said, someone who wants to be a partner for a long time, is what really makes us different. And we want to give advice and we want to be that partner for a long time. So we provide new home buyer advice.
So basically, at the end of the day, if you don't like the company that you're working with, we got a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
But again, they might not like us as well. They should just choose the company that works best. We have we have a track record and a perfect review on Google and everything, because we truly give a crap about what we do day in and day out. So we want to help customers. We want them to not just sell them something, but really figure out what their vision is and sell them the experience that they're looking for, and make it something that they're really going to love for a long time, as opposed to saying, well, this is what I would do, so we're going to do this thing.
Yeah, that's what sucks with the builder, because if you build with that builder, you're required to use them, right? They're third-party companies. So at this point, you might as well just do the pre-wire. But if I come to you and get, do the consultant work, right? Do you guys charge for that? And do you guys go to the property at that point? Or you just kind of give them advice, hey, this is probably what you want to do, but then call us after?
It's through the entire gambit of it.
Really?
We get people where they'll bring in a floor plan and we'll help them mark up a floor plan based on what they need. If it's someone that's wanting a little more, we'll go out actually to the model home with them and kind of see how they plan on using the house, and then mark up a floor plan for them. We build floor plans every day. We do, like I said, we do probably about 500 to 600 new construction homes this year. And we build a lot of maps for homes showing infrastructure and locations of devices.
And do you guys have like a place where you can go to look at all the displays and the options and the features of the items that they want to purchase?
Yeah, with our home builders, we have in the design studios, we have small showrooms set up in there to be able to run through all of the different options for infrastructure and components and kind of what your dream might be after the fact once you're ready to move into your home.
What about those people that are building a true custom home, like that one out in the Northwest, I think, that we went to go take a look at? Yeah. What about something like that? How does a consumer, do they just go to Toll Brothers? I mean, did I just say that name? I do apologize. So, I mean, where do they go to check the system out? Do you know what I mean? Because, like sometimes people want to touch and play and they want to see how things work. So is there a place that you take them to, or? So for Toll Brothers buyers, since you brought them up, we have a big relationship with Toll Brothers. Yeah. We have in all of the models, we have a lot of this technology, voice control, touch screens, video automation, audio automation, all of the lighting automation, all of the cool things that people are looking to do. So if you're getting any Toll Brothers model, you'll see some of our work. Past that, for larger custom homes, we have a very private residence that one of our customers allows us to use to come in to show off a very robust system. Yeah, that's by appointment only, and it's not something we offer up too much.
Not a public showroom by any means, but by appointment we can take them in. And what we like more about having a private home to show our customers and educate them on is they can see how the technology is used in everyday life, and in how it's used every day, from security to home automation and entertainment. But having just devices and products in a showroom isn't the same experience as going to a home and seeing how this consumer uses this. I like that. And it's more personable because now you're having a one-on-one. Yeah. Basically, that's what we did. Yeah. Like, I didn't really understand the system until we walked through the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's the same one we're talking about, the one in your previous video that you did. It's better to experience it than to just go in and look at products. You can go into Best Buy, look at products, or you can go online and look at products, but we want to give you the full experience. Is there any final words or anything that you guys want to say out to the viewers out here? If anybody wants more education, obviously we're huge on education. We have a full blog on our website. There's lots of topics on there on what kinds of things to ask yourself if you just go to the news section. There's what kind of things do you want to ask yourself when you're building a new home, for example. So we've got a whole bunch of good content on there if anybody would like a little more education, or you can call us anytime and we're happy to help give advice on anything that you might need. Or click the link at the bottom of our website and ask us a question. We're happy to help. Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to do it. There you go. Or I will have a link in the description below and their contact information. So that way, if you guys have any questions, you guys can contact them directly. And I want to say thank you so much for taking your time to come on out here to hang out with us for 45 minutes. And it's been fun. Oh, this is a lot of great information, right? Yeah. Stuff I didn't know about. I was a little nervous. I was with the Chakits. I felt like a 13-year-old girl at my first One Direction concert. Hey, Team Harry, by the way. Harry. Look, my head's getting big. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit out of this door. This is crazy. Well, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I really do. Okay, for coming on out here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the LV Home Experts Radio Show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Also, check out our second channel, Chakits 2.0. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Chakits. Have a blessed day.